From the Brockville Arts Centre, I'm talking with Jonathan Hanna, and Jonathan is the administrative coordinator that's there. And just recently, Ron James was in town, and I wanted to ask Jonathan how the theater was and how he was well received. So Jonathan, Ron James, let's talk about that. Was it well received?
It sure was. We had
Good.
500 people here last Friday to see Ron James.
Nice.
Very interesting feeling having 500 people back in the building. It was kind of eerily familiar feeling and new at the same time, but it was great to have a big show like that come in through town. And Ron obviously, puts on a good show. It was great to see people laughing and coming together again here at the Arts Centre.
Oh, I'm so glad. So glad to hear that. So let's talk about what's coming up next. And I believe it's near the end of March.
The end of March, we have the Stampeders here on March 31st. It's their 50th anniversary celebration, held over by 2 years, obviously, because the show was originally supposed to be here in 2020, but obviously was canceled due to COVID. So we're just it's great for us to be a part of that tour, to be able to celebrate that milestone with them.
That's nice. And tickets, how much are the tickets for this particular?
I knew you were going to ask that question. I have this in front of me this time. So the tickets for the Stampeders are $58.85 plus HST.
Awesome. And what time is the performance going to start for the Stampeders?
Performance starts at 7:30.
Good, good. Any movies coming up in April?
April, we do have a film coming up. It's a Canadian film called Beans. It is April 5th and 6th. We have those two screening times, at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. for this film. It's a great Canadian film. It's actually based during the 1990 Oka crisis in Quebec.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a very it's going to be a special film to come and see. It's a coming of age story about a 12-year-old girl named Beans.
Yes.
Growing up during that crisis. And just recently won an award through the Toronto International Film Festival. So it's one that's getting a lot of buzz right now.
Good, good. Glad to hear that. And St. Lawrence College will be gracing the stage down there twice.
They will, twice, yes. The first one is New Faces, and that performance is going to take place on April the 2nd. And for those of you who don't know, New Faces is essentially the introduction show for the first-year students to come and do a performance on the main stage here in Brockville. So there's two different performance times for that. It's at 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. to come and catch them. The ticket price for New Faces, $17.70 plus HST, because I knew you were going to ask that question for that as well. And then Pippin. So that's the big main stage show, the last show of the year, or the semester, for the second and third year students. That one's taking place over the weekend of April the 21st to the 23rd. It's going to be a great show. The ticket price for that, adults $35.35 plus HST, and we have student ticket prices at $27.50 plus HST.
Thank you for that information. And I understand that the Four Seasons Dance Academy will also be taking to the stage?
They will be. This isn't their usual year-end recital. This is their competitive team coming out and doing a show for all the parents and other students that are part of the studio. But the general public, if you're interested in dance and want to come and see some very talented competitive dancers, come catch this show. The show is on Friday, April 29th, and it begins at 6 p.m. Sorry, I do have to read my cheat sheet on this sometimes.
It's all right.
So many shows coming up that I have to have a cheat sheet. So the adult ticket price is $19.47 plus HST. Students and children are $14 plus HST.
Let's talk about Legends.
The Legend Show. So that show, Paquette Productions, they bring a great show every time they come. Pete Paquette, who produces these shows, is well known for his Elvis performances that he does, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be Elvis during this performance. So Legend Show, Saturday, April 30th, 7 p.m. That show takes place here at the Arts Centre, and ticket price for that's $49.60 plus HST. It's going to be a great show.
I think it will be. Wow, yeah. Going into May, who do you have coming in May?
May, we have Paquette Productions bringing a show called Leaders of the Pack. It's going to be a performance Sunday, May 15th. It's a 2 p.m. start time, so we get a nice matinee on a Sunday. And Leaders of the Pack is like one of those tributes to like the doo-wop girl bands of the 50s and 60s. So it should be a lot of fun to come in and see that type of performance here at the BAC.
Mm-hmm, that's good.
And the other thing we have in May, it's pretty major for us and for the city as a whole, because it brings in a lot of tourists. We have Can Dance competition that's here. Hundreds of dancers coming in from all over to compete. It's a big event, major tourist attraction here. We bring in lots of people to the city, so restaurants will be filled, hotels will be filled. It'll be a big weekend down here on King Street.
So is that something that the public can actually attend, or is it?
The public can attend. It is very busy. Like the seats do fill up pretty
Yes.
quickly because there's a lot of parents, grandparents, people
Right.
coming to watch their family members. But there have been a lot of local people have come in and watched this. It's a long event. The event will start at like 7 a.m. and run till about 11 at night. So we don't see people generally stick around the whole time,
No.
but we have seen people come in and watch some of the event as it unfolds during that weekend. So
Good, good. Well, thank you for telling us. Now, can we talk about Price Deck's summer series?
we sure can. Price Deck Summer Series starts in June. Our first performance is June the 18th with a Motown Mania show, which is essentially a celebration of the Motown music that everybody knows and loves. So that's on the 18th of June. Then we work our way into the other performances, and I know you, if you're looking around town, we've got these out there. So grab one if you see it. It has everything you need to know: dates, times, prices, everything. So next performance after the Motown, we have the British Legends, which is a tribute to Queen, David Bowie, and Elton John, and that one's June 22nd, 23rd. We have a 8 p.m. Performances both days, a matinee on the second day, which is how we run it. It's a Wednesday, Thursday series that we run through midweek. The next show after that, we have Night Fever, which is an evening of the Bee Gees songs. So, I mean, everybody loves that one. That one's a returning show that's been here a couple times. And there's a special guest performer going to be performing some of the music from Adele. So we have music from the 60s, 70s, and we have something more contemporary from today with the Adele in that one. Forever Young and Chicago Transit. So that's the music of Rod Stewart and Chicago. Then we have one that I'm looking forward to, a tribute to Bruce Springsteen. So now we're getting into some 70s, 80s, 90s stuff. And we end it with Country Legends, which is going to be a tribute to the music of Garth Brooks, Shania Twain, and Keith Urban. So something a little bit more towards the today's country as opposed to the classic country that we used to present before.
This is fantastic. It's a great lineup. It really is. And there again, as you had mentioned earlier to me, people can mix and match some of these when they're buying their tickets, can they not?
Yeah, they sure can. They can. We do packaging pricing for 3 shows up to 6. So if you like 3 of them, you can package them up and get a discount on tickets. If you like all 6, you can get a discount by just buying the whole thing. So it's and there will be a couple of bonus shows that will be announced later that if you do buy a subscription to this series, as soon as those shows are announced, you get a discounted rate on the 2 summer bonus shows that will be announced at a later date.
Okay, so we need to talk at a later date.
We will talk at a later date.
Yeah, okay, appreciate that. Anything else you want to tell us, Jonathan, before we let you go?
Just we're very happy to be open right now and providing the service to the community. After seeing the great response for Ron James, we're just happy to be back and presenting these great performances and shows for everybody. There'll be more movies and performances sprinkled in throughout the year. So just keep looking at our website, brockvilleartscentre.com. If you want to come down and visit us in person, we're open Tuesdays to Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and come down and see us here and we can let you know what's going on.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much. You take care, okay?
No problem. You too, Doreen. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.